Dominique Hart is a visual branding strategist who is founder and CEO of Dynamic Endeavors. This is a boutique design agency in which Ms. Hart uses her extensive knowledge in marketing and social media to transform brands to achieve a dynamic presence and accelerated profits. This basically means that Ms. Hart makes companies look real good by showing off the unique edge of each one, all of which increases the bottom line. Ms. Hart's mission is to create a global community of unapologetically creative leaders who will lead their brands to unparalleled acclaim. I now present to you Dominique Hart, founder and CEO of Dynamic Endeavors.
Hello, hello. Hi, hello, everybody.
Hello.
How is everybody doing? I know everybody can't speak to me all at one time, but just type in the comments for me to let me know that you are well and here and that you can hear me well. Jimmy, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So guys, I'm here to talk about all things visual branding today. Jimmy, thank you so much for inviting me to be here with you guys and partake in everything that you guys are doing. I'm glad that I came on time and ready because from the scripture to the music, to the songs. Oh, awesome, awesome. Great. You guys can hear me. From the scripture to the songs, to the very amazing tips, the tech tips, you know, I loved it, right? Vector images, points, dots, all of that. Oh, I was in heaven. So guys, just know that you are definitely in the right place today, especially with the amazing information that's being shared with you tonight. I know I'm in the right place and I know you are too. Okay. So I don't have to ask. All of you guys are thinking about being in business or already in business or thriving in business. And I'm so elated because I know that that means that you are a person of vision. Okay, you are a person of vision. And so today we're talking about how to create a visual brand that sells. Now, first, before I even go into creating visual brands and all the fun stuff and graphics and colors and all of those details, right? I want to talk to you guys about the difference between branding and the difference between visual branding. Okay, there's a difference. People don't know that. Branding is when you actually craft the details of what that business or brand is actually going to stand for. It's the foundation upon of which everything that comes after that, where it actually flows, okay? So you're determining who your customers are, what the brand is going to stand for, the mission, the vision, right? You're determining all of those different details that's going to strengthen who you are in the market. Now, you guys are very new to me, and I loved that intro. There's plenty to see online about who I am, how I've done it in the industry, and so much more. Today, if you have never seen me speak before, I am the content dropping diva, okay? So you want to make sure that you have a good pen, paper, pad, notepad, iPad, whatever in your arsenal. Because as I'm sharing these things, one, you're going to hear a lot of great information today that's really going to help you in your businesses, like practical. I'm really practical, guys, right? And so, okay, good, good, good. So, and I'm seeing your comments. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So, guys, I'm really practical because one thing that's very important for me, and this is something that Jimmy knows, which is why he brought me here today, is I'm not just talking about fluff. I studied all fluff and everything like that in Temple and at Temple and all the ideologies and theories that makes me the expert that I am today, right? I've covered all of that. So in all of that education, in all of that expertise, I'm here today so that I can give you knowledge that you can actually apply in your business today. Is that helpful? So understand this. When you are developing your brand, you're creating all of the basic information at the bottom that's going to fuel everything, literally everything you do in your business from here on out, okay? Creating a visual brand happens after you have successfully created what your brand is going to be, okay? So today, I'm going to assume that you at least have a business idea, that you at least have a business or thinking about starting a business, this is going to be important for you, because when you get to that point, and I need you to hear me very clearly, if you are getting to that point where you are creating your logos and creating your colors and creating your website, or having someone else create your website for you, it's going to be really important, the information that I'm going to be sharing with you today, so that you can go forth successfully. And guys, I need you to hear me very sincerely, very clearly, because we are very clear about the economic climate that we are currently in today, right? We're very clear about the racial climate that we are in today. I need you to hear me that I'm coming from a very sincere place. We have got to show up and show out in this economy in the best possible way. Why am I saying that? Because everyone's eyes are on us right now. I need you to hear me. Everyone's eyes are on us right now. There are people fighting in the streets. There are people fighting in the boardrooms. I am one of those people, right? And so with that, when you show up in a room, not that we haven't been doing it already, because we have, okay, but when you show up in a room, show them why you deserve to be there. Show them why your body butters and beauty products deserve to be in the room or the store or online or in their homes, right? When you show up online, show them why you are just as competitive as the next person. I need you to understand that visual branding helps you to get there. It's not something that you say, I'll get to later. No. It's something that you start from day one. If I'm speaking the truth, say amen in the comments for me. Because I know I'm in the right house, okay? If I'm speaking the truth, say amen in the comments for me, okay? And so understand this. I got an amen. Okay, so I understand this. This is very, very important, guys, because that's something that actually breaks my heart. And it's actually one of the things why I do what I do in a major way, especially for our people, right? Is because we have some amazing and dynamic entrepreneurs and creators out there in the world. But nothing breaks my heart more than when we just slap a sticker on it and call it a day and say, yeah, this is going to make me $1 million. No, that's not how commerce works, right? It's not how commerce works. We got to come out there with our A game, because when other people go out there into the market, they're coming with their A game, and they win every time because they're coming with their A game while we're coming with B's and C's and D's, right? And so understand that everything that I'm about to tell you, and I'm going to tell it to you one by one, how to create a visual brand that sells. It's going to help you to show up with your brand, with your business. I don't care if it's a service, a product, it does not matter. Don't ask, will this work for me? I'm going to tell you it will. And so with that, it's going to be very important as you move forward. If I say something today and it causes you to rethink everything you've been doing, beautiful, right? Because on the other side of that is going to be a better brand, a better business for the world to see. And that is a joyful moment, okay? All right, so let's dive into some content, because I only got a short amount of time with you guys, okay? So the first thing as to what you are going to need to do in order to create a visual brand that sells, hear me, is you are going to need to live the vision. Now, Dominique, what does that mean? I need you to write that down. What does that mean? Living the vision. What is that? Living the vision has everything to do with you. Now, I need you to hear me clearly. When you are living the vision, understand that this is probably one of the only moments where we are actually going to be talking about you. Everything else is about your customers, your clients, and what they will love and what they will buy. Okay? So, living the vision, that means that you are taking on your crown, your creator crown of being what I like to call a dynamic creator. Dominique, what is a dynamic creator? A dynamic creator is a person, an entrepreneur like yourselves, who understands that they are the creator of every wonderful thing in their life. And they have the power to create everything to be successful in this world, to create change in this world, to be dynamic in this world. They know that they have the ability to solve problems because they are a creator first. Not a business person first, not a salesman first, not a designer first, not an inventor first, not an innovator first, but you are a creator first. All the way back to the Bible. God created us to be this way, and therefore that is how we should walk in the earth at all times, knowing for a fact that we are indeed creators. Because as you can tell by now, some of you guys more than others, you will know that you're going to hit some hard blocks out of being an entrepreneur. Your business is going to hit some hard blocks. So in those hard moments, it's important for you to remind yourself that I am a creator, and the problem, right? The solution to this problem starts with me. It starts with me. I can create my way out of this. I can create my income that I want to see. I can create the movement that I want to see. That is very important to know and acknowledge as you are going through your business journey. Okay? And so the very first thing, like I said before, is to live the vision. Now, this is a part of my ultimate system, which is something that we use in my agency, Dynamic Endeavors, as you guys have heard in my intro. And that is my online boutique creative agency. Okay, we have an international team here at Dynamic Endeavors that creates so many great brands, websites, and things of that nature all across this nation. Okay, and so understanding this, that as you live the vision, it's the very first thing, and it's a part of our dynamic method, is what we call it, our dynamic method that we bring each client through. So understand that tonight, what I'm teaching you is exactly what we do in our agency. Okay, if we don't do anything different, I do what I preach. Okay, I do what I preach. And so with that, it's important to know that it's important to live the vision, because everything, like I talked about the difference between branding and visual branding, right? Everything comes from that moment. The moment you decide that I am a dynamic creator, and the moment that you decide what the vision is for this brand, for this company, it is going to benefit you greatly. Okay, it is going to benefit you greatly. It's going to benefit you with people who you may hire to be on your team. It's going to benefit you greatly with the customers that you may have, that you will have, excuse me. You will also, it will also benefit you with the different contractors or designers or creators who you may bring in your world. So it doesn't matter who you do or who you do it with or how you do it. You are going to need to know that I am a creator and I need to live the vision. What is this vision that I'm creating for my company, and why? Right? Because it's very important, especially as a designer myself. Designers, although we have all of these images in our head and we can create like just by closing our eyes, we can't create what's going to be effective for you until you define this for yourself. A lot of times, especially earlier on when I first started my agency, I would get clients that they would just say, Dominique, you're amazing. Just create anything. I trust you. Just create anything. And I'd be like, it doesn't work that way, right? It doesn't work that way. I need to know your vision. Every designer is going to say this. They're going to ask you about your business, going to ask you what you want. What are your ideas? What are you thinking? What's your vision? They should. If they're not, that's a problem. But they should, because that design is going to feed into that vision that you created from day one. If you follow me, say I follow in the comments. Okay. So if that is not established in the beginning, you are going to be bumping your head as you keep going on down the trail. That's why the dynamic method is so important, because it saves you from headache on down the road, right? So even if you have to go back, remember I said that if you have to go back to the drawing board, okay, if you have to go back to the drawing board today, that's a good thing. That's a good thing, right? She's like, I follow in the comments. I love it, guys. Okay. So it's going to save you from a lot of headache moving on down the road. Okay. So let's move on. Let's assume that you've established the vision. Let's assume that you are now living the vision. And let's assume that you now have come into this beautiful thought that you are now a dynamic creator. I want you to put that in the comments. Even if you have to say it to yourself, I want you to say, I am a dynamic creator. You can put that in the comments. I am a dynamic creator. Now, if you know anything about me, dynamic is always spelt with a K anytime you're talking about Dominique. Okay? So because a lot of you are new to me, I'll let you slide for right now. I'll let you slide. So it's spelled D-Y-N-A-M-I-K. D-Y-N-A-M-I-K. K stands for a lot of things in that name, but one of the first things that it stands for is kingdom. Yeah, kingdom, right? And so as you go out there and you are creating your visual brand, understand that as a dynamic creator, you are walking with kingdom first. Ain't that awesome? So that is one of the things. There's a whole other thing about that, but I want to move on to my second tip for you out of what we call our dynamic method here at Dynamic Endeavors. Is something else that we bring our clients through is to really, and this flows right into what I'm about to say, it's called determining your GPS. Now I'm going to say that again. I need you to your GPS, because here's the thing. Once you have said I am a dynamic creator, you need to know where to go, right? I need to know, where am I taking this ship? Right? I'm on this ship. I'm driving this ship. I need to know, where am I taking it? Right? I need to know, how am I going to differentiate myself? And this is really equated to, which is something that we strongly do in my agency, is strategy. You have to have a strategy when you are creating a visual brand that sells, right? Breaking up GPS. Yes, Carrie, GPS. All right, GPS. So you are determining your GPS, all right? And so, like I said, it's important for you, once you have that dynamic creator hat on, that you understand, where am I taking this ship? So if I have a tech services company, what kind of tech are we doing here, right? Are we creating apps, or are we creating infrastructure, right? And if we are doing either of the two, how are we doing it differently than our counterparts? Right? How are we solving a need that we know our clients, no matter who, color, doesn't, creed, gender, doesn't matter, that we know that they are going to need, right? How are we doing that? What does that look like, right? What do I want them to feel when they work with us? These are all important questions. Write that down. How do I want clients to feel when they work with me? It's not enough to just say it. They got to feel it too, right? Why is that important in creating a visual brand, Dominique? Well, one of the things that we ask our clients all the time is that very question. How do you want your clients to feel when they work with you? You have to determine what that is, because that's going to help us as designers, or even yourself, to determine what kind of aesthetic or what kind of look is going to be best for the company and the brand that you are establishing or revamping. That's very important. That's the difference between different hues of purple. That's the difference between different colors altogether. That's the difference between writing style, whether we're going to use cursive or sans serif or just a good old serif font, right? It determines a lot, guys. It determines a lot. So it's important to know that, right? Very, very important. Follow me here. So we now live the vision. We have determined our GPS. We now know where we're going to take our brand, how we're going to position ourselves, and we're sticking to it. Okay? We are sticking to it. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to master your brand elements. Write that down. The third step, master your brand elements, okay? So these are all key principles that work together to create a strategic visual brand that sells. You can't have a successful brand without strategy. So determining your GPS is very important, okay? Now, I know that I only have a short amount of time, so I'm giving it to you guys really direct and straight, okay? So you've done that, you determine your GPS. Next, what I want you to do is I want you to master your brand elements. One of the ways in which you do that, and this is another reason why I said I love what Jimmy shared with you guys today. I don't know if that was the ultimate setup, Jimmy, but I'm glad you did it. When he talked about the different pixels and vector and understanding the differences between that, that's important. Sometimes we'll get things from clients, or if we're, or even different publications, when they are requesting materials from you, it's important that you have the right files to give them so that your brand continues to shine. So I want you to master your brand elements. What always has to be in your logo, right? If it's a significant symbol or a significant item that stands out for you and your brand, make sure that that's included in your brand at all times. Never forget it, right? One of the little small things, and this is a little bit off the cuff here, but I'm going to share it with you. One of the things that's really important to me is bling. Now, you might be like, bling, what are you talking about? Child, I love me some bling, whether it be my ears, my pen, my brand, anywhere, right? But notice when you guys, go ahead and search me online, it's never overdone. And if anything, it's on me and around me. Not necessarily gold and glitter all over my brand, right? You don't necessarily have to do that. But some people, they do that, and that's okay. Why? Because that is a brand element that has to be a part of their brand no matter what. And because you are living the vision, and this is really important, I want you to listen to me. Because you are living the vision, you are not overdoing it, because it's who you are. And especially for those of you guys who are creating brands that includes your personal selves, okay? She's like, yes, I was eyeing the necklace. I love it. I love it. But that is me, right? I'm not overdoing it. I didn't go out of my way to get this necklace. This is me. I like it. I don't like to overdo it. I like a little splash. I have clients, they love to overdo it. Hey, that's your thing. We're going to make it presentable and in a way that communicates who you are. So I want you to master those brand elements. If that is your colors, anytime that you are visually representing yourself, I want you to wear your colors boldly. Don't forget them. Okay. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Thank you. She said she loves the necklace. I want you to do it boldly. All right. And Jimmy, just let me know how much time I got here. And so I want you to do it boldly. And so that's really important, because that helps people to recognize you. That's the visual brand elements that makes you you. That's why when we see McDonald's or Coca-Cola or any of those natures, they have a specific brand that they never change ever, because it represents who they are. Right? Great info, Dominique. Thank you so much, Kavita. I really appreciate that. Because they're consistent with it. They never change it, and it doesn't matter even if it's a graphic. Even if it's a graphic, it's always included in their work. Why? Because it represents who they are. It represents that brand. It represents everything that they are trying to get you to buy. So if the bigger brands can do it, sure can you. You sure can. And that is what I need for you guys to understand. It's that consistency. Okay? It is that consistency that's going to create those efforts for you. It's that consistency in how you show up every time that's going to make people like, oh, I know you, right? One good colleague of mine, if you've ever heard of her, she is the Budgetnista, Tiffany Aliche. Love her. She is a beautiful colleague of mine. And every time clients or people see her brand or see her show up, right? Every time people see her show up, she always has these green bracelets on. It's these green money bracelets, and it has her brand name on them. Even if it's a beautiful, big, amazing photo shoot, she always has it on, right? She doesn't always have it on just because, you know, she just feels like it and it's kind of cool. No, she has it on because it helps people identify who she is. Now, is it the only marker that does that? No. But it's a little thing that helps people to know, I know her. She always has the bracelets on. Can I have one? Why is that important? That's important because, especially if people are asking for it, right? It's important because it helps people to identify you, and they know that when they see it, they're in for a treat, and they want to be a part of it. So much so that when she is on her speaking engagements before COVID, that people come up to her and say, "Can I have one?" Right? It helps her to stand out. Yes, absolutely, Kim. Yes. And so it helps her to stand out, where people are just like, what's that on her arm? Oh, that looks like she has more than one. Oh, I want one. Why do they want one? Because they now believe that they are a part of her brand and her world. So why do I say that? Because even if you are creating things, and these are for those of you when COVID lifts from this world that we're living in, ever go into a bad listening and you are creating a present vending space, you know, when you have tables and you're vending and all of those things, I want of what are you giving away? There's so much to talk about in this one, but I want you to think about that. And that comes back to you living your vision, because you are establishing what this brand is going to stand for. What does it believe? What do you want your people to get in your GPS, right? You're determining your GPS and saying, this is how I want to attack this problem in my industry. And here's how I want people to feel around me. Yeah. And so therefore it determines what elements am I giving away? What elements do people see when they see me, when I'm represented, right? If purple is your game, then I need to see purple, right? If you are doing a live like this, I need to see purple somewhere. And it doesn't have to be overkill, right? Unless that's your brand. If that's it, if that is, then go for it. I have colleagues, they have beautiful pink backgrounds, beautiful glitter backgrounds. I love it, but that is who they are. And every time you see that glitter background, every time you see that pink background, every time you see that purple background, they know what they're in for. They know they're in the right place, right? So that's really, really important. Guys, listen to me. When you master your brand elements, that's how people remember you. Yeah, even if in the words that you're saying, if you have a certain catchphrase, I need you to continue to say it, right? Because it helps people to remember who you are, even in the mental. Can you attest to the fact that when you are reading a really good book, I mean good, that you are creating a picture in your mind about what you're reading? That's because words create vision as well. Words create visual pictures as well. And so the last two things that I want to say, and I'm going to go over them very quickly, and some of them I have been talking about, but once again, going back to Jimmy, is I need you to incorporate the proper tools. The right technology is going to put you in the right space every time. It's going to help you to show up dynamic every time. Okay. So if you're trying to achieve something, I need you to come back with the proper tools that's going to help you to do it, and not in a subpar fashion. Stick to the vision, stick to the dream. And the last thing I want to say is you need to remain consistent. Okay? Is that fair? I need you to remain consistent with that, because that consistency is what's going to help people to remember you. That consistency is what's going to make people buy from you, because that tells them you're not flaky. Everybody hates a flake, right? It tells them that you're here to stay, and you are here to serve, and you are here to be dynamic in their world. So guys, I hope that these tips have been important to you. I'm going to list them one by one again. It's the first thing that's really important is for you to live the vision. We love that, right? The second thing I need you to do is to determine your GPS. The third thing I need you to do is to master your brand elements. The fourth thing I need you to do is incorporate the proper tools to help you to show up dynamically. Okay. And the last thing I need you to do is to remain consistency. Everyone hears consistency is key. That is a phrase for a reason, because that consistency helps you to show up and sell every time. And when you implement these elements, these core elements, now there are more elements in our dynamic method system, but if you really want to create a visual brand that sells, that brings in the bank every time, focus on these elements, whether you're working with a designer or you are doing it for yourself. And I promise you, you will see change and you will see the bank roll coming in. Guys, thank you so much. I don't want to take up too much time. My name is Dominique Hart. I am a visual brand strategist. I am the founder and creator of Dynamic Endeavors. We serve globally, especially here in the United States. Guys, I am here for you. We are here for you. We create high-end graphics, high-end websites. I see the claps. Thank you, Christopher. I see the claps. Thank you guys so much. And guys, I am here. I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for the rest of the day. So no worries about that. Jimmy, if there are any questions, feel free to let me know. I'm here to serve, and it is my pleasure to serve you guys today, guys.
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, Dominique, you're going to make them all mad at me for shutting you down. But great information. Appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
And I met Dominique a few years ago in DC at the Power Networking Conference, and the passion came through then, and it comes through today, just the same. Any questions for Dominique? We got maybe a question, time for one, but she's going to be around to talk when we're going to a chat area.
Awesome.
I think somebody was trying to say something.
Thank you.
Was someone saying something?
Any questions? I'm here, guys. I'm here.
Well, let me just ask you, what is one of the common things you run into when you start working with people that you see over and over, the thing people need the most help with to change that mindset?
Yeah, I think, and I talked about it earlier on, because this really is one of the top things that happens all the time, is we'll get people who, amazing creators, let's be very clear, amazing at what they do, right? But what happens a lot is their vision is not clear. And so often we have to backtrack. To even get to a point where the team and I can understand how we're going to make their brand and their vision dynamic. And so that's why in our dynamic method, we always start there, because it makes the communication a lot easier in order for us to get the details that we know that we need in order to create that visual product in the end. And it's to also understand that the process takes time. Some people get it right off the bat. Some people don't, right? Some in terms of crafting that brand. Sometimes people get it right in the beginning, and some people, it takes a little time, right? And so it's important to know that and to not be hard on yourself about it, right? There's a reason why, and I'm just going to use McDonald's. I don't eat much McDonald's anymore, but it's a good example. It's the reason why McDonald's has revamped their brand over time. They've kept their brand elements, right? We know those markers that makes them, but they've spruced it up a bit, right? Because they wanted to match the direction that they're taking the brand in that decade, in that space of time, etc. And so that's really important, guys, okay? That when you are, yes, Carla, it definitely takes a lot of time. And so as you are working with your designers, as you are working, even if you are in a space where you have to do a little grassroots efforts yourself, that is fine. Understand that is okay, right? But it's really important for you to understand, where do I want to take this? And how can I best communicate that so that someone else can take on the vision as well and implement what I need to succeed?